more on the famous Gillis case.
Well, great. Business before pleasure. I like that. Look, before we get into this, I just want to thank you for taking such good care of me the other night. I hope I didn't cause you any problems.
I told you, no problem.
Well, good. Now I know I can have a place to come to next time I need some looking after. So, you got anything new here?
Yeah, I finally found the reporter who wrote the news accounts on the fire. He sent me a full list of his sources. All the people he talked to after the explosion, things like that. It's pretty extensive. Is Mason around? Maybe he can help.
Yeah, he's over there. He's been on that thing most of the morning.
Look, this is the third time I've been transferred. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to reach Gina Capwell.
What is your name, please?
Mason Capwell. I'm her stepson.
Well, Mrs. Capwell is here, but I'm afraid your name isn't on the list of authorized callers or visitors.
A list, okay? How do I get on it?
Well, you'll have to contact her husband, Mr. C.C. Capwell.
I should have known. Thanks a lot.
Mason, look, can we
Talk to me later, Warren. I got a family crisis.
Hi. Nice day, isn't it? Hello?
I want my boy.
Oh, some of those. Mommy likes white. Cut some white ones.
Ah, what a beautiful bouquet we're going to have, Brandon.
Daddy, when are you going to see Mommy in the hospital?
Later this afternoon, about 2 o'clock.
I wish I could go with you.
I know you do, son. But unfortunately, they've got rules there that don't allow children to visit. But your mommy's just fine. You don't have to worry about a thing.
I won't, but tell her I love her.
You bet I will.
And she'll know these lovely flowers are from you. That'll make her very happy. I wonder if it's a good thing, having Sophia living here on the estate.
Oh, I'm afraid there's not much we can do about it. She's been remanded to my custody.
Still, I have a bad feeling about it all. I'd better answer that. Keep an eye on Brandon, please.
All right, if that's for me, tell them that I'm busy and I'll call them back.
Yeah.
Brandon, there's some awful nice flowers down by the guest house. Why don't we go down there and take a look?
Okay.
What's going on?
Those are your keys to the boat. Won't be needing them, so I thought I'd give them back to you.
What are you doing here? I thought you were going to have Ted come over and pick up your things.
I was, but I figured that Ted wouldn't know which things were mine, like the records, for instance.
Eden, I'd have been glad to tell Ted which records were yours.
Thought you'd be at work already.
It's my day off. And you know it is.
You know, contrary to popular belief, I don't go around memorizing your schedule.
You don't have to because you already know my schedule, so you came over here to see me, so why don't we just get down to it, shall we?
You know, you need help with your ego.
Well, I'm having a specialist flown in from Vienna, but until, You taking my Pat Metheny album? And my Springsteen, too? I don't think so.
We bought these together.
Community property, is that it? Well, then let's divide them up evenly, shall we?
Not a chance.
All right.
All right. I'll let you cut some, but be very, very careful because these clippers are real sharp.
Okay.
Good morning.
Sophia, good morning. I hope we didn't disturb you.
No, not at all.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, honey. What are you doing?
Nothing, just cutting flowers for Daddy to take to Mommy.
Oh, that's very nice. She's going to love that.
I'm going to cut lots and lots for her.
I think he's going to strip the whole garden. How'd you sleep?
Well, off and on, C.C. I'm so glad when this arraignment is over. That's about all I can think of.
I can understand why. That's the only thing I'm worried about, too.
You've just been wonderful. You've helped me so much. I appreciate it.
Sophia, we're in this together. I told you I would stick with you all the way.
Thank you. Tell me, how is Gina doing? Have you heard?
I'm going to the hospital this afternoon. I think I'll have a chance to talk to the doctors then.
Good. I hope they give you good news.
So do I.
Ow!
Oh, my.
I'm just so terribly afraid. Well, of what? Everything. This place. Last night I was tossing and turning, and there was someone crying in the room next to mine. It was like a nightmare, being locked up in a lunatic asylum.
Oh, well, I know. You know, La Puerta takes a little bit of time to get used to. And all these boozers and pillheads. But you'll get used to it in time.
How long have you been here?
Oh, a couple of weeks now. It's my annual visit. I party it up all year, and then I spend a month here drying out.
Why would you do that? I can't believe anyone would come here because they want to.
Oh, well, you'd be surprised. I mean, over half of us are here voluntarily. Aren't you?
No, I didn't have a choice. The doctors recommended I come here. You see, I developed a drug dependency. They've given me some medication to make it easier for me to break the habit. Easier.
Oh, I know. Well, the doctors usually know best, but I wouldn't trust the therapists too much. Well, I don't think that they're too reliable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, personally, I've had the best luck in here by making friends with other patients. I mean, let's be honest. They're the only ones who can really understand what you're going through. Now, the rap sessions, well, that's really where the action is.
No, I could never do that. I could never talk to all those people about that.
Oh. Well, then, I don't know, maybe just talking to me would help. Really, I'm a natural-born sympathetic listener.
Well, all right. My name is Gina Capwell.
Oh, wife of V.C.C. Capwell. Oh, yeah, I know. Boy, some responsibility, huh? And all that money.
Yeah, and everyone thinks I married him for the money, but I didn't. I love him. I have a little boy from my first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6 years old. I worry about him being in that house without me.
Oh, honey, if he's in a place like that, there's nothing to worry about.
No, you don't understand. He's the key to the Capwell estate. So that's why I'm so afraid of someone's going to want to take him away from me.
Oh, no, I doubt that'll happen.
No, you don't know. You know, I have a lot of enemies. You just don't know. I just wish I had someone I could trust.
Well, why don't you trust me? I mean, let me be your friend.
Would you?
Well, why not? I mean, everybody needs a friend, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Huh.
Sometimes I get so scared.
Oh, come on, it's all right. Gee, look, you don't have a thing to worry about now. Not as long as I'm here.
How dare you?
How dare I?
What do you think? In one kiss, I'm just gonna jump right back into bed with you and forgive you for everything you've done?
A thought did occur to me.
Well, maybe you can't live without you, but I certainly can. You know, I'm a lot smarter than you give me credit for. I should have trusted my instincts in the beginning. You and I could never make it together. You are too proud.
Proud? Look who's talking.
There is a difference between pride and stubbornness.
Well, make up your mind. Which am I?
You are never going to be anything more than a cop. And I don't think you realize that.
What's so bad about being a cop? Me, I ask, except, of course, that I turned out to be an honest one.
Well, why don't you be honest with me about something? Do you honestly think that you and I could have ever lived happily ever after?
I'm not sure you could live happily ever after with Prince Charming, Eden.
You're certainly not.
Of course, that's okay for you, right? You don't really need anybody anyway, do you? Because you're a Capwell, after all. You got your family. It's all that counts, right? I think this whole, anger about Sophia is just an excuse.
It's not an excuse. I love my mother, and you are taking her away from us. Charging her with first-degree murder.
We went through this whole thing yesterday. Now, it's not my job to judge her. My job was to take her in, which I did. A jury will decide whether or not she's guilty. What I'm wondering is who's going to pass judgment on you?
I don't see anything so wrong in being independent. I don't need to be in your shadow to feel like an individual. It's for all your supposed enlightenment. You're a pretty boring guy, you know that? You want the normal, boring things. Some little wife by your side, some nice little home, someone your mother will approve of. And maybe if she likes him well enough, she'll give him her pot loaf recipe.
That's a crock. And for your information, it's either pot roast or meatloaf. It's no pot loaf.
I don't care. There's nothing to do with that. I hate myself for knowing those things. I don't want to know how many carrots are in a pound.
You know, I don't understand how I could ever have been so stupid as to think that you and I could have lived together, made a life together. We can't even carry on a civilized conversation like two human beings when you come right down to it.
You're not civilized. You're Neanderthal.
Look, you don't want to book my act? Fine. Get the hell off my property.
Take your records. Never liked your taste in music anyway.
Well, Julia just walked in.
Warren, I think we should forget about Julia. She already turned us down once.
Look, if I let one-time turndowns bother me, where would I be today, huh?
Where are you today, anyway?
You've got a point there.
Look, we don't need her. I've been thinking. The man who put out the oil fire that Ben was hurt in is named Red Adair. I just found out Cruz Castillo was working for him.
I know, that was about 3 years ago. But you're right, there's a chance Cruz might have been working on that same fire.
Yeah, well, what are we waiting for? Let's go call him.
All right. I'm fed up, pure and simple. I'm fed up with the kind of garbage the DA is dishing out, and I told him so, and he didn't like it. So I gave him my badge and gun.
I know. I'm sitting on my desk right now, waiting for a damn good cop to come and take them back. I'm not going to accept your resignation, Cruz. If you don't like the system, the best way to change it is from the inside. Now, don't let someone like the DA drive you out, and don't quit because you're mad.
It's not a question of being mad, Chief, really.
Well, then let's forget it happened. You like what you're doing, don't you?
Sure I do. What's worse, I even believe in it.
Believe? That's not bad. That's good. Oh, come by and pick these up, all right?
I don't know. It's my day off.
So come back in the morning and pick them up.
Oh, gosh. Why not? Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye. Thanks. Hello?
You sure talk a lot.
Well, that's because I got a lot of important things to say, Gillis. What can I do for you?
One quick question. Were you working on the oil fire 3 years ago that broke out on Capwell number 6 in the Santa Barbara Chandler?
No, I wasn't, but a friend of mine was. Why?
That was the fire Ben was hurt in. Warren and I are at the State Street Bistro. We'd really like to talk to you if you've got a moment. Or we can come there.
No, that's okay. Why don't you stick around? I'm going to go crazy if I hang around this place all day anyway. I'll be right there. Yeah, bye.
You don't look terribly happy to see me, Mama.
I just don't think it's such a good idea for you to be here, Santana. You know what Cece said about you staying away from Brandon?
I know what he said. I just worry about him. I didn't think one small visit was going to matter.
I take good care of him, Santana.
Mama, I know you do. But I still need to see him now and then.
I hope you realize, Santana, that no matter what becomes of Gina, Cece is never going to let go of that child.
I don't expect him to, nor am I asking him to. I just want to make sure he's all right. No matter what, Mama, Brandon is my son. And I still have to make sure he's well taken care of.
Okay, now, how does that feel?
Okay, I guess.
Good.
Well, that looks like a very professional job to me. You know, you're a tough little fighter pilot. You didn't cry at all.
And since you've been so brave, why don't you go out to the kitchen and get some cookies out of the jar?
Gee, thanks.
Welcome. You used to call Ted a tough little fighter pilot, too.
I guess old phrases die hard.
Tell me something, Cece. Are you really serious about this dynasty with Brandon and Gina's child?
It's something I want very much, Sophia. You know, our children are the closest thing we ever get to immortality.
Is that what you want to be, immortal?
Well, I suppose after I'm dead, if I find out I'm not immortal, I probably won't lose any sleep over it. But I'm going to take as many steps in that direction as I can while I'm alive.
Then why not let this new dynasty be comprised of all your children? Why separate them?
You're not including Mason in that suggestion, I hope.
Oh, Cece, I would just like to see the happiness that used to be in this house, the happiness that I remember be back again.
I don't think we ever get that kind of happiness twice in one lifetime. I just want you to know, in spite of all the things that have kept us separate all these years, that you'll always be a part of any Capwell dynasty, present or future.
Thank you. Excuse me. Hi, Miss.
Good morning, Sophia. Oh, Dad. What a happy disappointment to find you. Rosa said that I might catch you here.
What do you want now?
Just your permission to see Gina. I understand it's required.
Why don't you two excuse me? I'll check on Brandon.
Certainly.
Why do you want to see Gina? What do you want from her now?
Nothing dramatic, Dad. I just want to see how she's doing.
She's fine. What else do you want to know?
I think I'd like to see for myself.
That's not necessary. Besides, I don't think visitors are good for her right now.
But I'm not acting for myself, Dad. I'm acting as Brandon's trustee. You see, I think it would be in the child's best interest if I were to check on his mother's progress at the sanitarium. Now, if you don't want to sign this and allow me access to her, I can simply take it to a judge, but you and I both know that a judge will rule in my favor.
All right, give me the form. I'll sign it. I don't give a damn what you do. You're no threat to me anymore.
That's the spirit, Dad. Cooperation. Anywhere on the dotted line.
Cece, did Mason find you?
He found me all right. Would you take these for me, Rosa?
Why don't I take them? I'll take them out to Brandon. We can make an arrangement. Santana can help.
Santana's here?
Out in the gazebo with Brandon.
What's going on in this house? I asked Mason to stay away from here. I've asked Santana to stay away from Brandon, and both of them act like they have carte blanche. In and out of here. I say something, and everybody does just the opposite.
Cece, now listen to me. Santana doesn't mean any harm. She has an emotional investment in that boy.
Well, I hope that that's all she thinks about, because she's not going to have him. Brandon is Gina's child now.
Santana has come to terms with that. Believe me, Cece. She only wants to make sure he's all right while Gina's in the hospital.
I want you to finish your work and have some coffee. And I'm going to take these out to Brad, okay? Daddy, hi.
Oh, Princess, I've been wondering where you were. Hey, honey, is something wrong?
It's Cruz. I'm so upset about what he did to Mama. We had a big fight about it. I'm just beginning to think that maybe we never really had a chance to make a life together.
Eden, I'm sorry.
I feel like such a fool.
Sweetheart, the good thing is that you realized it in time. Now, I know how upsetting it must be, but I think you've made the right decision. Now you can pursue your ambitions. You'll find somebody in time. Nice, bright, pretty young girl like you.
I'm a woman, Daddy. I'm not a girl. I don't feel too pretty or bright.
Sweetheart, you ought to feel proud, though. Now, I went by the hotel this morning. Take a look at the reconstruction job. It's coming along wonderfully. You know, you've taken charge. I think you're going to be back in operation very soon. I want you to know that I am very proud of your accomplishments.
Thank you.
In fact, I've made a decision. I'm going to make you vice president of all hotel and resort operations.
Are you serious?
I'm going to make you my business advisor and confidant. How does that sound?
Daddy, I wanted that more than anything in the world. I'll make you proud of me, I promise.
Good morning. Cece is expecting you.
Yes, come in, please. I'll let Mr. Catwell know you're here.
Thank you.
Cece, your attorney is here.
Oh, good. We have an 11 o'clock appointment.
Oh, I'll leave alone.
No. I want you in on all my business meetings from now on. Come on in, Earl. Morning. Morning. Eden's going to join us in the meeting this morning. Eden?
Hi.
Earl's been preparing a report on the Maggie Gillis lawsuit.
Well, I'm not sure that you'll be pleased. I have been over every aspect of this suit. I'm very nervous. I think Mrs. Gillis has a very solid case. And if she turns down that settlement, well, I'm afraid that Capwell Enterprises will have a very hard time of it if it gets in front of a jury.
Are you saying we're going to lose?
Well, it's quite possible. I'm almost sure of it.
Well, then we can make this meeting very short, because I don't want anybody on my team that thinks we're going to lose. You can just leave whatever research material you've got for me and leave. Then I'm taking you off the case.
Now, Cece, any other lawyer would give you the same advice.
No, absolutely not. Not the one I'm going to pick. That's all, Earl. I think you can find your way out.
Well, I'm sorry you feel this way, Cece.
I'm sorry you feel the way you do, Earl.
Good day, Miss Capwell.
Who are you going to get?
Jack Lee. Honey, look, I've got to go get ready to go to the hospital. I want you to contact him. To call him up and persuade him to join us on this fight. Now, have you done any briefing on the charges that the Gillis woman is bringing against us?
No, but I'll do it now. And I'll make sure that Jack Lee says yes to our case.
All right.
Just leave it to me.
Oh, Mason, you don't know how happy I am to see you. You don't know how bad it's been here for me. Oh, the medication, the therapy. I hate it so much.
At least they're not making you quit cold turkey.
I don't want to talk about this place. Tell me about Brandon. I miss him so much.
Yeah, he's fine, Jeannie. You're lucky to have Rosa. She practically raised all of us single-handedly. She'll be a good stand-in until you get home.
Yeah, I worry about Sophia and Santana. They wanted me out of that house. There's no telling what they're going to do behind my back.
Gina, you mustn't dwell on things like that. You got to concentrate on getting well and getting out of here. Are you sure you even need to be here at all? Maybe you're well enough to go home now.
No, I'd just go looking for some more pills and lose control again. As much as I hate it here, I think I'm better off here for now.
At least you're being realistic. That's a good sign.
Yes, but I'm so worried I'm not going to make it.
You are, Tina. You're going to come out of here a new woman. And then Sophia and Santana won't stand a chance.
Your mommy's going to love these, Brandon.
Can I go up to my room now?
Sure. You know, Brandon, we used to be such good friends, and now you seem to be so mad at me. I was just wondering what I've done. Are you upset because your mommy's in the hospital, or did I do something to make you mad?
No.
Well, then what is it, sweetheart? I thought you liked me.
I do. But my mom said that I should stay away from you. She said that you're mean.
I see. Well, I really don't think she meant that, Brandon.
Yes, she did.
Sweetheart, you have to remember, before she went away, she was very upset. And sometimes when people are real sick like that, they just get mad at everybody. Now, I've never done anything mean to you, have I?
No.
And I never would either. I want to be your friend. And I think right now we could both use a good friend, don't you? I miss all the games we used to play and all the fun we had. Can it be like that again?
I miss you too, Santana.
Well, let's stop missing each other when we're so close.
All right.
Okay, that's my boy.
Wasn't there an office available on the corporate level? What about Max Lichter? Wasn't he fired? Mm-hmm. Well, I'll take his office. And I need a decorator in there right away to redo the entire office. And I'm going to need an assistant also, which either means hiring me one or switching one over to me. Uh-huh. Oh, I also want to put out a press release on my promotion. And Jack Lee, I put in a call to Jack Lee, and if he calls, tell him I'll be at the Capitol House. Great. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi.
Hi.
I overheard you got a promotion. Congratulations.
Thank you. Guess good things always follow the bad things, right?
And I assume the bad thing is breaking up the cruise.
Well, I think Cruz and I would be better off. No, I think the only reason I got this promotion was because Daddy felt bad and he wanted to make up for it, but whatever the reason is, I want to make him proud of me. I'm going to do a good job.
Oh, I know you're going to do that. But, baby, I also know you're hurting. You don't have to pretend with me. Don't you think you could try to forgive Cruz? He was only doing his job.
I really think that his job is the only thing he'll ever do. It's the only thing he cares about over me, over anybody, or anything else. I can't live my life that way.
Just think about one thing. He loves you. Now, I am going to go to lunch with Santana and Brandon, and I'll see you.
Okay. Have fun.
Okay, baby.
Hello.
It's Jack Lee. I got word you wanted to talk with me.
Yes. My father wants to throw some more business your way. Besides the case on my mother, he has a lawsuit he'd like for you to defend.
Why didn't he call me himself?
Well, he had to go out, and he's appointing me his assistant.
Well, all right. Tell you what, why don't you meet me for lunch and you can fill me in? I'm down at the bistro.
Okay. I'll let you know right now I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Well, good for you. I'll be waiting.
Oh, just any details you could tell us about the fire might help.
Yeah, well, my friend told me it was a real bad one, and he told me about this one guy who was in critical condition when it was over. I imagine that was your husband, Meg.
Yeah, were there any other witnesses to the actual explosion or any other injuries?
There was this one guy he talked about whose hand was in pretty bad shape. In fact, I think it was burned down to the bone.
Well, did your friend mention the burned man's name?
Not that I recall. You understand this is a long time ago. You know what you guys ought to do is go through the old Capwell employee records and see who else was disabled that day. I think this hand of his was a permanent injury.
Oh, that's a great help, Cruz. I really appreciate it.
That could be just what we've been looking for. Thanks a lot.
Well, I hope it does some good. I know what it's like to be a little guy fighting the big guys. If I can do anything else to help for you, let me know.
You got it. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, Santana. Sophia.
Hello, Chris. Would you like to join us?
Yeah, just for a minute, if you don't mind. You having lunch?
We just finished. We brought Brandon down for lunch, and now he and Mama are window shopping.
And now we're going to take him to the park.
Oh, I imagine things must be kind of tough on him now that Gina's away, huh?
Cruz, I have something to say to you. Actually, I have two things to say to you. First of all, Eden told me what's happened between the two of you. And I am very sorry, and I do hope we can iron things out eventually. And secondly, I understand why you did what you did. And I don't feel any anger.
Well, thank you, Sophia. That means a lot to me.
Oh, why aren't you working today?
Well, even a cop gets a day off now and then, you know.
Oh, really? Well, why don't you go to the park with us? I mean, it's a beautiful day, and we're going to rent bicycles or mopeds or do something, but we're going to have fun. What do you say?
Well, actually, I kind of like that.
Good. Then I'll pay the check while you two go out and look for Rosa and Brandon, okay?
Great. Okay. Listen, thanks for inviting me along. It means a lot to me, actually. I need to
You
get
don't waste any time, do you? Off with the old and on with the older.
Jack.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you? You made good time.
Oh, it's nice to see you again.
Incredible. He hits on every woman in town.
She has another visitor, Mr. Capwell, but as soon as he leaves, you're free to see her.
Thank you.
Well, hi there, Dad. My, what pretty flowers. You gonna lay them at her head or her feet?
If you're through, I'm going in.
She's all yours.
Hello, darling.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm very angry.
I'm sorry, Gina. Darling, Brandon sent these to you. He cut them all by himself for you.
Well, how sweet. He hasn't forgotten me.
Of course he hasn't.
And he's not going to either. Mason said he's going to keep an eye on you, so don't you try anything with him. And you keep Santana away from him, you hear me?
You don't have to worry about that.
Oh, no? What do I have to worry about? You and Sophia?
Whatever exists between Sophia and me exists in your imagination.
How long before it becomes a reality? Hmm? I think this mutual guilt over Channing's death has brought you closer together. I know she wants you back. That's why she's here in Santa Barbara.
Gina, it's not like that. I love you.
Oh, you love me? Is that why you put me here, to get me out of the way? So you and Sophia can be in the house alone? I know what you're up to!
Mrs. Capwell, you mustn't excite yourself like this.
Get him out of here! I don't want to talk to him!
Mr. Capwell, I think you should leave.
I'm sorry, Gina.
You go away! You don't mind?
So what do you think? Will you take the case for us?
You were engaged to marry that Castillo fellow, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You know he's working for the opposition now?
No, I had no idea.
Warren and Maggie Gillis came to me with this case at one point. They wanted me to represent the Gillises. I did a little research on it. I can tell you, she's got a strong leg to stand on.
But I'm sure you know her vulnerable spots.
Oh, a few.
My father says that you never turned down a challenge of any kind.
He's right about that. All right, I'll take the case. Provided I'll be working with you.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, then we better get to work. The first thing you ought to do is check security on your father's employee files. I overheard something. They're looking for a witness. And that's all it's going to take for them is one good one.
Okay, well, I'll check out it right away. Listen, why don't we talk this over in the car on the way? I'll drop you off at your office.
My pleasure.
Jack! Aren't you going to introduce me to your new friend?
Actually, it's my new employer. Eden Capwell, Julia Wainwright. I've just taken the Gillis case for her father. Eden?
Nice meeting you. Ah, she's mine.
The Gillis case, huh? Ooh, this is going to be very interesting.
Well, this witness of yours sounds promising, but we're going to have to find him first. Let me just make a note here. Now, Warren.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do the legwork on this. And this is the name of a friend of mine, works at Capwell Enterprises. His name is Max Lichter. You tell him I told you to call. I'm pretty sure he'll slip you the employee records that you want.
Really? That's great.
Yeah. Now, I have a feeling that if this person saw anything of consequence, that the powers that be at Capwell Enterprises have him pretty well hidden away, but at least we got a name to go on. It's luck. Let me know what you come up with.
Yeah. Well, this could be a real break for us.
Let's hope. I think we deserve it.
I think you deserve a whole lot more than that. I just wish I could give it to you.
Warren, forgive me a lot more than you realize.
Warren, listen. I was thinking about what we were talking about yesterday, and I've had a change of heart. I decided that I was willing to take on the case, that is, if you still want me to.
I want you to. That's great.
I thought I could be kind of a silent partner. I even have an idea of how I could best be put to use.
Well, look, you still have that problem with Mason. You're going to have to clarify that with him first.
Oh, don't worry about Mason. I can handle him. Soon find out. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Isn't it wonderful to get some good news for a change?
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful.
What is this?
Oh, don't worry. I'm not soliciting.
Oh, I wish you'd forget that. That was an honest mistake.
Well, it was an insulting one, but that's okay. I've forgiven you. Actually, what I wanted to talk to you about was business, so why don't we just drive around the block a couple of times and we can talk?
Gas is expensive. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that I'll be working with you on the Gillis case. Associate counselor.
Oh, is that right? And who appointed you?
Warren asked me. You see, I'm his aunt. Oh, by the way, Julia Wainwright.
Aha, your Augusta's sister.
Uh-huh. I thought you might need some professional help, seeing that Jack Lee was working on the Capwell side.
Jack Lee, is it? Oh, well, that's a formidable opponent. He never takes a case unless he knows he can win it.
Yeah, Jack and I go way back. You know, I thought that if we worked this out right, I could sort of work as, well, a spy for you.
Ooh, I like that. You'd be getting information from Jack and feeding it to me. That way we could stay a step ahead of him all the way. I'm a little concerned about your motivation, however.
It's the oldest one in the world.
Like prostitution?
Like I have a score to settle with him.
Oh, good. I like people who bear grudges. Well, all right, then. Welcome aboard, partner.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Maybe I should give you a lift home now, huh?
Okay, but I'd like to say goodbye to Brandon first. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great. Sophia? Yeah, I just hope that the trouble between Eden and me hasn't made things any more difficult for you.
No, it hasn't at all. I'm worried about the two of you. I think, Cruz, if you give Eden some time, you'll be able to patch this up.
Yeah, maybe so.
You don't want to?
Yes, I do. But I realize that sometimes things happen between people that can't be easily forgiven.
Cruz, I believe, I've had to believe in second chances and third chances. It's never too late.
Well, again, I'm sorry I had to be the one to arrest you.
Cruz, I think you should just forget about it. You did what you thought you had to do. You did what you thought was right.
Well, it wasn't right in my mind. I'm wondering why you're on the property, Cruz. You're not welcome here right now.
I'm sorry to hear you feel that way, Mr. C.
Cece, he's here to drive Santana home.
She's still here? I wish these outsiders would stay away right now. My family's having a nightmare. We don't need intruders to make it worse. Please leave, Cruz.
Well, I'm leaving too, Cece. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, let's hit the road, shall we?
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Bye.
Sophia, we're having dinner at 8, if you would like to join us.
Yes, I would. I'm afraid Mr. Lichter still hasn't cleaned out his desk.
Well, that's okay. We'll do it for him. Have it all boxed and taken out of here, except for the files.
It's going to be a pleasure working for you, Miss Capwell.
Well, I'm sure we'll get along fine, Betty. I just hope I don't work you too hard out of my own enthusiasm.
Capwell Enterprises.
Yes, is Max Lichter there?
May I ask who's calling?
It's Warren Lockridge. Mason Capwell said I should call.
Just a moment, please. It's Warren Lockridge. He says Mason Capwell asked him to call Mr. Lichter.
We'll find out exactly what he wants.
Can you tell me what this is regarding?
Certainly. I am trying to get some information on some employees that worked on one of the Capwell oil rigs about 3 years ago. Mason said Max might be able to help me with that.
He says he wants to find out about some people who worked on an oil rig 3 years ago.
Tell him that Mr. Lichter will have to call him back, that he's out of town.
I'm afraid Mr. Lichter's out of town at the moment. If you'd like to leave a number, I'll have him call you back. All right, Mr. Lockridge, I'll tell him. Goodbye.
Listen, Betty, can you get me those records? I'd like to see them. I'm just curious to see what he wants.
I'll bring them in right away.
I know how important Brandon is to you, but if I were you, I'd stay away from the Capwell house for a while.
I just worry about him so much.
Yeah, but he's got Rosa there, and Mr. C, and Sophia, and they all love him.
And what happens when Gina comes back? You know, I don't think she's a fit mother. I mean, look at the incident with the pills when Brandon climbed out of the roof. And think about how close he came to dying. And all because Gina left him alone and left those pills right where he could put his hands on them.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll happen again. Anything like that. Mr. C will never allow it.
You know, there was a time when I was really perfectly willing to let him grow up happy at the Capwell. And now I just can't seem to see any happiness in his future.
It may not be yours to see something. After all, you did give him up.
Did I? Or was he taken from me? You know, Cruz, I really believed he was going to go to people that none of us knew. And now I find that Cece's been tracking his progress for 6 years. I really don't know what to make of it.
Well, Mason, did Julia find you?
Yes, she did, and we're going to work together on the case.
Oh, really? That's great. I think she'll be a big help.
I do too, but I'd like to keep this quiet, just between the four of us.
I don't understand. What difference does it make?
Well, I can't explain right now. I'll talk to you about it later, okay? Excuse me. My usual, Frank. Well, well. What have we here? A match made in heaven? They must be busy up there.
I had to work so hard to get Cece to marry me, you don't know. And now everybody wants to take him away from me. I have a terrible feeling they want to take my baby, too.
Oh, come on, kiddo. Take it easy.
Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I had a drink or even a pill or something. Just something to calm me down.
You know, you can really get anything you want in here if you just make the right connections.
The only thing I want is my little boy.
Well, look, in the meantime, why don't you just take one of these?
I think that's all of them.
Oh, thank you. Okay, all the people that worked on Capitol number 6 rig that day. Ben Gillis' name is here. We have it. Here it is. You do things your way, Cruz. And I do things my way.